45 degrees is not what I wanted to see at all. It's not good. But we're gonna have to make do, guys. We're gonna have to make do. Warrior Gang, let's go. Trying to do a little TV show here and all. Kind of has me messed up. Let's try to start the day off right. Oh, that feels great. First cast of 2019 that you guys are able to see. I've had a lot more casts this year, but you know, they didn't involve much. No catching. And key is always to mash the bottom with these cranks. So what I'm doing is I'm throwing this on 30-pound braid to a 12 or 10-pound, I think it's 10-pound mono. Or fluoro, I don't even know. Whatever I do when I crank, I throw braid as my primary line. The key is your leader. That's the most important part. As long as it's out of the fish's sight, which I'd say is a couple feet, you know, you're good. The fish should be focused on your bait. You should have a bait enticing enough to keep their eyes off the line. You feel what I'm saying? And if you guys have noticed, this bait is a slim body, slim bill. And early spring, I like to have something with some tighter action. So I'm gonna stay away from the square bills until that water hits like 48. Once I know those fish are active enough to be chasing something like that with a wide action, I'm throwing something like this. You know, like a bomber flat A, balsa, things with a slim bill and a slim body like this that get a tighter action. It's my preference. All right, so I'm basically targeting shallow areas first because I want to eliminate that as a possibility. You know, I want to figure out if they're up shallow first because fishing deeper is a little bit more complex, takes more of your time and effort. So targeting fish shallow is the best way to go first, in my opinion. That way you rule that out. I mean, if they're not up here, you'll know pretty quick, which is like they're never freaking up here, except for a few select days a year. They'll be all over this shallow stuff. And those days are usually in spring and fall, so it's the best time to try. All right, we're gonna keep on moving. There's gotta be a fish on one of these little points, one of these little juts. There's rock and wood all up in them. So why am I fishing this shoreline, guys? It's a rocky, steep bank. In the early spring, I like these kind of areas because I feel that these fish have the ability to go up and down in the water column from shallow to deep and target those bait fish as they please. You know, if you have an area that's real slowly sloping, these fish have to travel more to get up to shallow water and further to get out to deeper water. If you have creek channels, for instance, around a point, you've got a deep area right around a transition area. So that's, you know, 2 layers of grate in one spot. And the idea out here fishing on these reservoirs and any body of water really, with deeper fishing of course, is to find these areas that have one desirable feature, then another desirable feature, and you just stack them up. And the areas that have the most desirable features together are usually the best spots. I mean, simply put, you've got areas with rock around a creek channel and a point. I mean, bam, 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 your odds go up. Now I'm throwing that War Eagle spinnerbait. It's got a Kitech Easy Shine, or a Zoom Swimming Super Fluke Junior as a trailer. If they were eating, it would be deadly. I'm gonna let that sink all the way. And the key to spinnerbait fishing, cold water, is to like barely thump the blade. But I'm also throwing a braid backing here as my main line, so I'm able to really feel that vibration in the blade better. Hooking this up to 15-pound fluorocarbon. No lovers, no love. Ooh, fish out in 17 feet. So I'm reading all kinds of fish on this graph. So I figured we'd throw our swim bait out to Narnia and see what happens. You know, there's just fish all over, all the way across. I don't expect much until top of the day, like noon, 2 o'clock, through that time. That's when I expect to start getting bit. Huh. We're gonna go to the other side now. All right, we have made it to the other side. The temp is like incrementally warmer, which is good, I guess. A lot of fish out here at the mouth. But those are fish in 40 feet that are probably not trying to eat. All right, so I'm gonna give it a try with each of these baits that I've got. And we're probably gonna approach our spots like that from here on out, just alternate in each spot with every bait I've got. All right, so now we're going to my custom. This is a shad, like a transparent shad imitation. It's pretty cool looking. Very cool looking. Can't really find that on the market, boys. All right, we're up to this next little secondary point across the lake from where we were. And I'm hoping this is gonna be a little bit warmer. It's 47, all right, so that's a little warmer. I don't know if that's because of the weather warming up or just this side in general, but we'll find out. All right, so I gave this a try on a point that I really like to fish. Nothing there. So we're gonna move. All right, guys, another custom, a mini lipless. It's like a ½ an ounce, so it's really heavy for its size. It's gonna get down there pretty deep and allow us to stay in the deeper zone that we wanna be in. I put a number 6 Gamakatsu triple grip treble on the back and then a VMC round bend on the front, size 8. Just to let it get some more diggage, you know, down there and let it bump the bottom without getting hooked up on that first front hook. But then we got that bigger one to back it up, you know, if the fish short strike. So that's how I like to put my hardware on small baits like this. We're just gonna simply retrieve that one. There he is. There he is. Look at that. Yes. Yes. Oh. On my bait. On my bait.
On my bait. On my bait.
Just like that. Whew. Look at that. There she goes on the custom bait, baby. Nothing better than that, guys. Nothing better than that on the custom lipless. First fish of the day, and it's a solid 4. Solid 4. She's gone. Wow. Let me get out of this mess first and then we'll talk. Wow. All right, guys, so I figured I'd take 2 seconds and talk about that fish real quick. I really want to get back in there and just keep fishing the rest of the day as hard as I can so we can try and get more of those. That was a beautiful fish, probably 4+. It's definitely not the 7-pounder that I'm looking for to cut my hair finally. You know, that's kind of the challenge I've set for myself, but that wasn't the 7-pounder, so I didn't weigh it. Good looking fish all around. And I caught it on none other than my own lipless, man. And this has been the 2nd trip this year that I've used it, and it worked. I mean, I talked about it, I threw it in there, she ate it, and that's that. Let's get on to the next one. Can't really put it in words, man. I spent all winter just painting, getting better and better. They were made with love and effort, so we deserve that. Like I said, it's a very heavy, small lipless bait, so it's able to get down there in the deeper zones that we want to be in. Unlike a lot of these other lipless on the market, they're small, but then they're too light. And we want to get down there deeper, targeting some bigger bites. These fish aren't up super shallow yet. You whacking them, bro? Yeah, little mini lipless, man. Yeah, water warrior fishing. Yeah. What's your name, bro? Well, I appreciate that very much, man. It's nice to meet you. Best of luck to you, man. Whack 'em. All right, so since that last fish, no action. I've been alternating between the crankbait, the spinnerbait, and that lipless, and now I'm gonna go to the jerkbait. Right off of this point. Ooh, ooh, ooh. When you want to catch bass, the fish say, "Not so fast." To the warrior boat. Come on, fish. Come on. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Come on. Come on, fish. You can't do a one and done day. That ain't happening. So it's like 1:30 or 2 o'clock. We're probably gonna spend another 2 hours here, 2 or 3 hours, depending on how the bite pans out. Ricky Jorge is a tough cookie to crack. It's been quite the uneventful morning besides that first fish on my custom mini lipless bait. And I thought I'd take a second out of the day and just talk to you guys about that bait, why it's special, and a concept related to that. So that bait I found you know, online a while back. I found the blank, and when I see blanks that I like, I buy a lot of them because you never know if you'll come across them again, and a lot of times they go discontinued. So I grabbed these. Luckily I did, because I've had them out on a pond, I've had them out here, and wherever I've taken them out so far this year, and it's still chilly, you know, water's 45 to 48 degrees, I've done well. So that's a great sign, and moving forward they'll definitely be in the boat. But the way I've been throwing them is what's super interesting. So I have a lipless crankbait here that weighs half an ounce, right? Bring her around. So you got that guy, right? Half an ounce. That bait is half an ounce, but it's 2 inches, and I'm throwing it on a medium light. A medium light with a 1000 series. It's probably too small. I should be using a 2000. You guys can knock me, hate on me, go ahead. And the reason for that is, the reason why some guys would say that's not the right way to go is because you don't have enough line return. So if you're fighting a fish and he jets out under the boat, do you have enough torque to get, you know, that slack line in? Sometimes no with a 1000, I'm not gonna lie, but I just like the profile. It's really light on the arm and the wrist, so it's fun to throw. Anyway, the point with this whole little sidebar conversation is going to a medium light for a heavier half-ounce bait like this. You know, it goes against common knowledge. You'd think a half-ounce bait I need to use like a medium heavy, or a medium at least, right? The medium light allows me to really get this thing down there deeper. That is key, deeper. I want that in like 15 feet. So the fish are sitting down there deeper right now. We need to target them where they're at, and doing a medium light setup allows me to do that. With the lighter line, you know, it's just a perfect combination. So go against the grain, think outside the box a little bit, guys. You'll be surprised what you find. This is just one of those little tweaks in the game that's helped me out, especially in these cold months when I'm throwing finesse baits, but some of them are heavy like this.